Hey guys, I'm here with Brian Skeel from Katalyst. How's it going, Brian?
Very well. How are you, Nick?
Good. Thank you for joining us. Where are you located right now?
Columbus, Ohio. Born and raised.
Born and raised. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Um, is it snowy out there?
It's just cold.
Yeah. So you
uh,
guys,
so, so-
you
what's
guys
that?
just finished up your first album
Yeah.
for
Really
Catalyst.
jacked
Tell us a
about
little
it.
bit about it.
Okay, so when you came to me a couple months ago and recommended putting together a label for Switch Music Group, you also gave me a couple of amazing composers to work with. Some of those being Kyle Kniceley and Tony Dickinson. Got to check out some of their work, and I was really, really impressed with their stuff. So I immediately emailed them, was like, "Hey, let's do something big." Also tapped into one of the people I know, Tim Claubaugh, who's actually a classmate of mine from Capital University. I know he was big into the orchestral thing, and since I'm not very savvy with orchestral music, I figured he'd be a great resource. Um, but the idea behind En Masse was come out guns blazing and just prove to the trailer music that we are here and you're not going to be able to ignore us. So we
Well,
came
you
out
look like
with
a real soft-spoken guy. Just, you know. No.
it,
So what's kind of your inspiration going into this first album, music-wise?
music wise, as huge as we can possibly do. We're all big metal heads, so the heavy distorted guitars was definitely a big factor. But we're also all into the big wall of sound production, so lots of synths, lots of orchestral elements, and just taking the music that we grew up and love and just making it as explosive and huge as possible.
Cool. So not too many ukuleles and flutes.
Not this time around, no.
All
Maybe for
right.
the next one.
um, how would you say if you were to classify Catalyst, the label, as something? How would you describe that?
Definitely guitar powered trailer music.
Okay, cool.
Um, we're all very much guitar players, except for people like Tim that I tapped for his skills, the areas that I lack, but definitely very guitar driven.
So you play guitar, you play drums too, right?
I do play drums, yeah.
And you're a recording engineer, mix engineer, the whole nine yards.
Oh, yeah. I
Awesome.
get bored pretty quickly.
What was that?
I said I get bored pretty quickly. I gotta
Oh,
keep myself entertained and
and
up
you have a
to.
baby coming on the way.
Sure do, yeah. At the end of the month,
Wow.
probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is intense. So, a couple other questions here. We're gonna keep this brief today.
Yeah.
Um, what are 2 to 3 of your favorite tracks on the album?
Oh man. So I love The Fall of Man, which was a collaboration between Kyle Kniceley and Tim Claubaugh. Kyle actually gave me the original idea, and I said, "This is amazing, but you know what it needs is some strings and brass." So we got Tim involved, and it just became this absolute monster of a track. I really enjoy. Let me see. I can't remember what the name of it was. I've been working with so many tracks lately, but the really rhythmic, heavy one from Tony. It had like a big genty rhythmic section, and
Is
I
that the
think it was,
intergalactic one?
yeah, that's Intergalactic
Yeah.
Supernova. And good God, what a tune!
Yeah.
That dude absolutely crushed it. I've never heard guitars like that in a trailer, and in my mind, I'm thinking, uh, the next 6 Michael Bay movies are covered.
And how
And
about your the first track on the album?
yeah, what was that? Cranial Quasar. Yeah, that actually was the only concept that I had going into this. This came out of, well, we need kind of an introduction to the trailer music world about what Katalyst is. So I whipped up some lyrics that were very a chant of empowering. More than anything, it was, you're not going to be able to ignore us, and not in a threatening way, but we're going to shine so bright that you're not going to be able to help but listen and notice and see what we're all about.
Awesome. And that features you on vocals, right?
That is me singing, yes.
Yeah, it's a great track.
We've lingered too long, our minds growing strong. Destiny revealed itself at last. We've nowhere to hide. Abandoned our proud.
Those are a few of my favorite tracks as well on the album. Tony's especially was one that stuck out to me when it's this beautiful intro and then it just breaks and just like crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
So what's next for Catalyst? What can we expect over the next 4 to 6
Oh
months?
man, we have about 4 projects in the works right now. The Just to touch on some of them, I'm working with a classical guitarist named John Morgan, and taking some of his ideas and sending those to some orchestral composers that I know in the area. More of an experiment. Let's see if this works, and then hopefully we can get some really cool fantasy driven stuff from that. The one that I'm really excited about though is a indie rock, indie pop kind of project. I'm tapping a few individuals about that. The details are still in the works, but it's going to be very uplifting and encouraging music stuff for rom-coms and huge dramas. But those are just a couple of the things that we're working on right now. I just tapped into a gentleman named Sean Kennedy over in England, and he's working on some killer tunes for us. Man, we're just going a million miles a minute right now.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. Well, congratulations on the album. It comes out on February 18th in a couple weeks. And anything else you'd like to say to your fans, to your mom watching, anybody?
Yeah. Thank you so much for your support, man. We're really excited to be here. And yeah, just keep your ears and eyes open to what we're gonna do, because this is gonna be a huge year or two for Katalyst. Thank you very much for being a part of it.
All right, thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Nick.